Most interesting and quiet people I've ever known in my life.
Sure, but I've always thought of you as the last cowboy and the closest person I know to Clint Eastwood, and I love you.
A modern-day John Wayne, your incredible grit and work ethic has inspired us over the years.
If I had to pick 3 words for Kevin Austin, it would be crotchety, wise, badass.
I'm proud to say that you and I have had the opportunity to work together for 30 years, and we've definitely seen a few things in that time.
Kevin's dad, Jerry, and my dad worked together for 30 years. So when Kevin joined the company in the early 80s, right out of high school, it was kind of like he was joining his own family business as well.
Oh, do you remember when we did City Hall and I met you on the stairs going on the job site?
So Kevin and I worked together in the warehouse. Then we worked as purchasing agents, project managers,
operations, on the senior management team,
and later on executive team members for many years.
When I first started, you were one of the first people that came up to me and just sat in my office and introduced yourself.
I asked who you are. You working for Rexmoor? And you start laughing. You said, yeah. And what department you working in and where you working? And you said, oh, I'm Steve Zucha's boss. Do you remember that? And then you freaked me out because Steve Zucha was the biggest guy on the field and everybody was, respecting him. And then to hear that from you, I said, oh man, what I'm getting into this. But everything was so good.
And you just made me feel so welcome.
I really did enjoy going to your house and learning out about axe throwing. And
he knows a lot about a lot, and he's endlessly curious.
He's never too high, never too low.
You've always been as solid as a rock.
Endlessly generous, selfless.
You never get emotional. You never panic.
He was consistent, and most importantly, he was extremely humble, except while playing golf.
An annoyingly good golfer.
You kind of beat me in everything. You beat me in golf.
Annoyingly good.
You beat me in trap. And I could always count on you to drink my beer that I was making all the time. So thank you for that, even if some of them exploded occasionally. So.
The other thing that a lot of people haven't gotten to see about Kevin, whether at work or outside of work, is how well that man can wear a kilt, a wig, a man bun. Well might be a generous word for that, but these are some important things that people need to know.
And I'm also going to be missing the very few words that you used to speak that would mean volumes.
He was always quiet, but pointed with his responses and direction and criticism.
You've never been a man of many words, but when you do speak, people listen.
He doesn't say a lot of words.
You taught me the value of meaning what you say, putting a lot of meaning into your words.
He won't answer you when you want him to.
A man of few words, but your influence is huge.
He will let you stumble through it on your own and then insert when he feels necessary.
Kevin was a bull rider, and I haven't met a cowboy yet that doesn't hunt. Well, Kevin, amongst other things, taught me how to duck hunt very shortly after I joined Rexmoor. Took me 25 years to figure out what Kevin initially taught me. It was his form of boot camp, I now realized, for Rexmoor. Yes, I'm a slow learner. So about a month before duck season in 1996, he takes me out to the duck pond, shows me how to get there, all that good stuff. My first lesson, this was my job site inspection. About a month later, I'm instructed to show up at 5 a.m. It's pitch black outside, foggy, wet, you name it, which, as I recall, was about an hour and a half before shooting time. The lesson, I had to be early to work at Rexmoor in order to beat competition and get prepared for the day.
We were playing ping pong, and there may or may not have been some frosty adult beverages involved. But at some point, Kevin was lunging for a ball because he didn't do anything halfway. He was going to get that ball, and he crashed right into the side of this ping pong table, which was also like a dual-purpose ping pong / pool table. So the thing was really heavy.
I had ordered all the gear I thought I needed. I showed up looking like the cover of a Cabela's magazine. I'm camoed out, I've got waders, I've got my hat, gloves, a cool jacket, I'm warm, got my gun, and my duck call, which I have no idea how to use or work. I'm looking good and I'm ready to roll. Kevin's like, man, nice gear, but what did that cost? The lesson, have a budget and maintain it. I was already in trouble. I was in credit card debt. I haven't even gotten to the pond yet, and Kevin is sizing me up.
And he crashed into this thing like a semi-truck. And he got hurt at the time, but we didn't think that it was, he stubbed his toe. Well, we get out on the golf course the next day, and the guy can barely walk. His foot was swollen to the point where he couldn't even get his shoe on, but the guy played the entire round of golf and didn't complain about it the entire time.
Next, we got to find our way out to the blind. Mind you, it's still pitch black. Fail. Didn't take notes on exactly how to get to the job site. So I couldn't find the blind. And I didn't show up with a headlamp to see where the hell I was going. Fail again. Didn't get all my gear. The lesson, ask more questions and take notes.
A couple weeks later, we learned that he had completely fractured his toe, and he played an entire 2 rounds of golf after having done so. And that's just a story about how Kevin lived his entire life.
But also touched the lives of countless others within our organization.
You coached me, you mentored me, and you made me who I am today as part of the organization. So you're like family.
For me, I think the best part of that has been the friendship that we've developed both inside and outside.
It's dark, muddy, cold, that thick valley fog you guys all know. I'm dropping stuff all over the place. I'm noisy, scaring the ducks off the pond, tangled up in decoys. My gun drops in the mud. It's a shit show. But Kevin over there, Mr. Patience, sort of chuckles, remains calm. You know that shit-eating grin he's got. The lesson, stay patient, remain calm when you're training a beginner, and do it with a smile.
We've had some pretty big adventures. Our trips to Vegas, sporting clay tournaments, duck dinners, gun dinners.
We finally make our way down into the blind, which barely fits 2 people. It's kind of snug in there. Kevin breaks out his coffee as we're waiting for the ducks to come in so we can shoot. Kevin starts calling ducks, but we can't really get anything to work. We don't see too much as we don't quite have the right weather. We're socked in with fog, so the ducks aren't really flying. We're sitting there for a little bit waiting. I start to smell something. It's freaking horrible. My eyes are burning. I look over at Kevin. He's smiling. He's telling me those are roses. What the hell? The lesson, learn to tolerate and get along with others. Do it with a smile and make them laugh. And yes, there are consequences for your actions, i.e. not doing my job site pre-inspection and getting all the gear.
And of course, trip of a lifetime to South Africa. I wanted to share a couple of things about South Africa, but then I remembered what happens in South Africa stays in South Africa. So you're safe for now.
About 4 weeks later, I'm getting a little better. I'm not tripping all over myself. Kevin decides to step up the training. We're going out to the reserve. At a reserve, we don't have a blind. It's not super comfy out there. You have to actually walk out into the water and stand there. It's about 4 to 4.5 feet deep. We've got our waders on, and it's tough to keep your balance. It's really soppy, muggy. I'm carrying my gun over my head so I don't dump it in the water. And I'm sort of thinking, geez, if water starts coming in my waders, I might not be able to get out of here. And just as I'm thinking, don't fall, I hear Kevin yell, don't fall. I'm not saving your ass. The lesson, you got your training now. You're on your own, so figure it out and operate out of your comfort zone.
Kevin, I can probably never fully express my appreciation for what you've done for me and the company over the last 40 years.
You've had a tremendous impact on me throughout my career, but more importantly, you've had a tremendous impact on many individuals throughout the entire organization.
I still see your picture in the hallway of 12 years old with your Mickey Mouse sweatshirt on, and it brings a smile to my face. I love you. I'm gonna miss you.
I know you have touched countless lives here over the past 40 years.
Just always felt like you were in my court and nothing but support in my whole career.
I would like to thank you for everything you taught me.
Love you, brother. Thanks for all your time.
We love you, Kevin, and thank you for everything you've done.
I super appreciate you.
Thanks for all you've shared with me and others over the years. I think you've always enjoyed flipping me off in the mornings when you walk by my office.
He just has a huge heart.
Just appreciate, everything you've done for me personally and for the company and for countless others that have had the opportunity to experience you. So, gonna be missed, man.
We love you, Kevin.